So it looks like Donald Trump's trying to start a war with Venezuela. Let me show you what's going on. This is from the White House today. They're saying Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. Okay. It will only get bigger. So I guess what are we doing? Are we sending all of our ships down there? And the shock to them will be like nothing they've ever seen before. Until such a time as they return the United States of America all of the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us. Trump? What? Okay, great. So now we're accusing, I don't know, did Venezuela steal Texas from us or something? Did I miss something in history? Something's wrong with this guy. And I'll go through the rest of this, but my first reaction, I knew they were trying to start a war down there. We were already flying missions like right around the coast. We've been destroying small boats. They haven't showed us any evidence of said things. And I know there's people out there who like Trump, but I'm a simple question. If you want to attack Venezuela, you should go. Go, get in a boat, I guess, and go to Venezuela. I mean, what are we doing down there? This is so ridiculous, and that's just my first reaction. And it's like in any normal country, you just remove them already. That being Trump. I'll just use the example of the UK. When you guys got some sort of problem, literally you just remove your prime minister and they're gone. Voted no confidence, right? I think Canada has the same kind of thing. It's like, this dude's crazy. You're out, right? And I think Trump's supposed to make a public announcement. He's going to do some sort of speech tonight. I saw something about that. And I wasn't sure what it's about, but I'm sure it's about Venezuela, that we're doing a blockade. He's going to come across tough. That's what he's going to try to do, like Mr. Tough Guy, that kind of thing. Okay, so what does it say? The illegitimate Maduro regime is using oil from these stolen oil fields to finance themselves. Okay. Drug terrorism, human trafficking, murder, and kidnapping for the theft of our assets. So Trump's claiming that they're stealing stuff from us. So, right. So show me the money, show me the evidence, and many other reasons. Okay. Including terrorism. And then this one is a big deal. Will Trump declare Venezuela a terrorist state, and then therefore is that our reasoning for attacking them? And regarding the drug stuff, Trump says all the time, well, this going on about, fentanyl or whatever. So my understanding, it comes from China and then comes in up through Mexico. So if we were really concerned about this stuff, why don't you attack Chinese boats? I'm serious. Like if that's your strategy, is to blow everything up. And I was looking at stuff, and I guess if there are substances or the white powder stuff coming from Venezuela, it may be heading towards Europe if that were indeed what we were going after. So that's why I always say all the time, guys, when Haig says like, hey, we're blowing up crap, killing people. Well, who are these people? What's on the boat? And they just destroy everything. And then now they were saying like, oh, we're not going to show you the tape from September 2nd. This thing stinks. I'll just be frank. It stinks. The whole thing stinks. I mean, obviously the Trump presidency stinks, but I thought the ballroom was bad, but now we're starting wars here. And the thing is, like, where's Congress? I mean, usually you would just remove the guy. And for any Republicans out there, you should be ashamed of yourselves for letting this stuff go on. I mean, just bring in articles of impeachment on this guy already. We'll see what he says in the thing, but it's like, it's one of those announcements of like, oh, I just gave the order to attack or whatever. Is that where we're at right now? I mean, what else are we saying here? Stupid. The Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization. Oh, okay. I was reading something about that. I didn't know he tweeted that also. Therefore, today I'm ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers. So basically, we're in active war. That's how I would read that. That's my first inkling on this one. Going into and out of Venezuela, and I think a lot of these. I mean, they should be going to China. I think my understanding is like maybe as high as 80% of the exports from Venezuela would go to China. I don't know what's going on. Are we just like trying to start World War III? The illegal aliens and criminals that Maduro regime has sent into the United States. I don't know if there's any evidence of that. Seriously. I mean, this is like just nonsense. During the weak and inept Biden administration, you always blame Biden, and being returned to Venezuela at a rapid pace, America will not allow criminals, terrorists, or other countries to rob, threaten, or harm our nations, and likewise. Okay, great. Is Venezuela threatening us? I mean, and that's a serious question. I guess if you watch Fox News, you think Venezuela's like knocking on your door and, trying to take your couch or something. Is that? This is so ridiculous. America will not allow. Okay, what else we got? So he's claiming Venezuela is going to take our oil, land, or any other assets, all of which must be returned to the United States immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Wow. I saw the news flash, a couple hours ago, and it's like because he does some crazy crap every day, right? And I knew we were trying to start with something with Venezuela, and I knew there's an announcement, but I didn't realize it was this crazy. We'll read a few other reactions also. This is Senator Andy Kim. He says, this threatened military action directly contradicts what Secretary Rubio and Haig had told my Senate colleagues and I today about the mission and goals of the operations in the Caribbean. So I think they had some sort of Senate hearing thing. I think it was closed doors, so they're not going to tell us what it is, but he's just saying it's different than what Rubio and Haig said. This is a dangerous escalation, and this administration must come before Congress for public hearings and explain to the American people why they are risking pulling us into another forever war. Because, right, you create a power vacuum, and then we got to send in troops, and we're going to secure the oil or whatever. That's Trump's goal. We're just going for the oil. I mean, it's like I don't see how any the military leadership are going to go for this. This whole thing is sick. As I've said, Trump's war. This is from Senator Chris Van Hollen. As I've said, Trump's warmongering with Venezuela is not about stopping drug traffickers. The real goal, regime change to grab Venezuelan oil and gas reserves for his billionaire buddies, putting Americans in harm's way for the thing Trump cares about most, profits. And listen to this. This is AOC talking about, they just came out of like the Senate hearing, closed door thing. Listen to what she says.
Were you satisfied with the answers that you've gotten so far today in these classified briefings?
No.
Yeah?
That was a joke.
Okay.
That was a joke.
And were any questions asked that were compelling? Like, were any questions answered?
There was not a single piece of intelligence that was shared that even rises to the level of any other briefing that we've seen on Ukraine, China, anything. There was no serious, this was not a serious intelligence briefing. This was a communication of opinion. And if this administration wants to go to war, they need to go get it from Congress. And if Republicans want to defend this argument that cocaine is a weapon, they can go vote on that. But this is kind of this is just conjecture at this point.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
And that's where we should be at. If you are think there's some sort of crazy threat, right, send it to Congress. The power that Trump is trying to seize is dangerous. This is unprecedented in all the stuff that he's doing, and I just keep saying, like, why isn't this guy removed already? So my wife Yeji heard me recording and actually just wanted to share some thoughts. What do you think? Are we going to war with Venezuela?
It's really awkward that he's not gonna study anything, or right?
What do you mean by study?
Like our president, he's working.
Oh, like Trump? He just watches TV.
Yeah, so our president, he's read stuff and study a bunch of stuff.
Oh, sure.
But Trump's not gonna do this. So there is someone,
right?
Give him some information, right? So he's kind of manipulating by someone. So someone need to give him some information. Right? Then how he knows like Venezuela doing something, other country doing something, right? So there is some other big power.
So basically, Yeji's making the point that, or the question is, who's manipulating Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. So the way I always describe it is like, he's basically the dying king, like and they're all going after the throne, like the Game of Thrones kind of stuff. And so all these worm tongues are around to try to manipulate him.
Yeah, but there should be the biggest worm tongue, because
Well, there could be there's more than one. I mean, think of it this way.
Yeah, but more than one. But he probably trusts someone more than other person.
That part's true.
Yeah.
That part's true. So the way to understand Trump is he'll have gatekeepers. So the gatekeeper's like the person who like basically tells people that, get in line. This person has the first year.
Yeah,
of
we
Trump,
do have the word.
The concept.
Yeah,
so he definitely has gatekeepers. The other thing he has people he's worked with in business a long time with his real estate business.
Yeah, and that's someone like his lawyer.
Yeah, like he'll have a lawyer or have personal real estate friends. So, for example, he had the real estate friend go to negotiate with Russia.
Yep.
And then they were going to decide what to do with Ukraine. I mean, that would be in my opinion, his biggest people would be like his son-in-law.
Yeah, I just
Jared Kushner. So that would be Ivanka's husband.
Yeah, or his son.
Yeah, but Eric and Don are stupid. It's not going to be them. Now, theoretically, it could be. You never know. You never know. You never know because they're not that smart. They're just not.
Yeah, but they're not smart, so they can manipulate by someone that manipulating them, and
so that part's true. That part's true. The Trump understanding Trump is the whole thing is strange. Okay, let me backtrack here. So when they first came into office, the FBI and the CIA, they got rid of all their counterintelligence. Do you know what that means? So it's like if say China or Russian spies are coming to the USA or whatever, we have spies to counter their spies.
Yeah,
I
see.
Right, so they're basically getting rid of our protections against foreign countries, which is a really odd move. It just doesn't really make sense. And then essentially what he wanted to do also is he put everyone onto stopping immigration. So whatever your specialty is, because some people do accounting fraud, so we're vulnerable to because of the most. Again, what I'm trying to say is like the most well-trained people who can manipulate Trump would be like high-level spycraft from other countries. Now, theoretically, it could be, one of his real estate buddies or something like that, or theoretically, because the one thing, and I don't talk about this that much on the channel because I just don't know. When we started blowing up boats, I was just like, are we now? How can I put it? Do you know like when mafia guys don't want someone to be in the world anymore, they'll send them off to the make people disappear thing.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if my first reaction is like, are we carrying out the dirty work of like some sort of mafia kingpin? Because you just you never know. Because do you remember it was 3 months ago or whatever when the military wasn't getting paychecks? Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember.
And there was like this weird headline of like some donor, and they called it private, wanted to like pay the military. It was like the weirdest crap. And many people thought it was Elon Musk. And I said very clearly, it could be, but I don't know. It just says private donor. Who knows? And that turned out to be like this bank guy that we just don't even talk about. And there wasn't even any pictures of the bank guy. Like the last time he took a public picture was like 30 years ago. It could be any, you never know where this was at.
That, we don't know.
True
or not.
He's definitely being manipulated because you're correct. He has to get some sort of information from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing that's odd about this one is I don't think any legitimate, FBI or CIA agent would give you intel that would say like, hey, Venezuela is taking Florida. Like that doesn't, taking our land. Like, what are you talking about? It's weird.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
So the other thing that now this would be the hard to know, but because we don't know what he's looking at all the time. So one is Fox News is a big manipulator of him. That's just real. He watches it nonstop. The other thing is he may be spending a lot of time on social media that we don't know about.
Oh, possible.
And someone controls the algorithm over there.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't. It's not just X. It could be on his own platform. Could be being manipulated.
Yeah, algorithm works that if you watch something, only show those kind of stuff.
Well, the algorithm. Well, it's not algorithm for that. It would be clearly someone could show Trump stuff. So.
Or even make the fake video to show him,
Oh, absolutely. You don't know what goes across the dude's desk. So, yeah, he just thinks of stuff I wouldn't necessarily think of. But no, it's correct. He because or the guy. This has been more conjecture stuff, right? Recently the Pulitzer, and I made a mistake in the last video thinking the Pulitzer was a Nobel. I know they're not. Just I can't keep track of all the stupid crap Trump's doing. I guess Trump sued the Pulitzer Prize for some reason. And then they're in, we call it discovery. When you first do the case, like you'll start to present a bunch of evidence before you go to trial.
Yeah.
And they want like Trump's taxes, his psychological evaluations, and like what kind of medications are you on? He could be on any sort of like, because it could be a combination of dementia plus some sort of meds.
Yeah.
And he keeps bragging that he passed his cognitive test. It's just the basic test, and it's serious. They show you like a picture of like a sheep, a cow, and a camel.
Simple.
And can you tell me which animal's which?
Yeah.
It's like, can you draw a cube?
Yeah.
Like can you make a square? Or A is 1, B is 2, what is C? It's like really, they just want to test it. And he brags that he passed it 3 times. So that's more like,
that's you guys' present level.
that's like 3 times that like the dude's, they're worried about him. Something's not right. But
Not some things, everything's not right.
yeah. So I my personal opinion is I think he does believe the nonsense that he says.
Like you did.
Because there's lying and just delusional. I think he's closer to the delusional side. And you could argue that people believe their own lies if they convince themselves. But he says the most whacked out stuff. Because like if I just watched Elon Musk's platform all day, like you think everyone's stupid basically. And like because people tweet out the weirdest crap over there all the time. But we know that part we don't know. We're probably gonna find out. Like you have bits and pieces of it because you don't never know what's going on in his brain or whatever. What we do know though is he doesn't work that much. He works like 12 to 5 was the report or something like that. It's not that. It's really not that much.
Bad.
He gets up late. He quits early and then he doesn't work all weekend. So. They could be giving him all kinds of stuff. And then he's got problems with his health.
Sure.
And I'll just say this: like we in USA and people who watch American news or know American, we have weird stuff going on. So the way this, for example, Michael Jackson died, like I think the nurse or someone was giving him something, and then we had another person that was another star. Do you know the show Friends? Friends, the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the stars in there had an issue with like someone giving him stuff,
Drug.
like. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't remember I don't follow that kind of news, but it's part of our news to where people do give other people stuff. So you just never know with what's going on over there. That's how sick this whole thing is. So, I don't talk about this kind of stuff all the time on the channel because we don't know. But it's getting to the point to where any normal country would just remove him.
Yep.
Right, and anyone who
it's a lot of stuff that can charge of.
Yeah. All right, so that's Yeji's thoughts. Just want to throw that in there. I want to hear yours, and I'll catch you on the next video.